Okay, Wednesday Tabata. So this, you are going to go to your timers page and pick which format you want to follow. I think I call it normal and advanced or something like that. So they're just the way that you can set the timing. One of them is just harder than the other. So you have frog jumps, quick pulse, squat, cross climbers, and leg lifts. This one is very tiring and difficult. So frog jump, quick pulse, frog jump, quick pulse squat, cross climbers, and leg lifts. So this one is where your leg crosses. It's almost like a slow mountain climber, but your knees are driving diagonal. We have done those, but it's kind of hard to see. And leg lifts. Okay, so frog jump. You're basically gonna, it's almost like a jumping squat, but with this one, you're gonna go all the way down and be in like this weird frog type position. So you're gonna start from here. So see how my legs are kind of bowed out on the outside, my hands are in between. I'm gonna jump from the ground up, okay? That's my frog jump. So you can imagine on a timer of 30 seconds, 40 seconds, it's extremely exhausting. So when you get tired, what I suggest is just slowing down. Like when I have a rhythm of my own. So usually what I do when I'm doing like a Tabata style and I'm tired is I pick like, so say I do my jump, I'm tired. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I pick something like that, or a number, or maybe a breathing pattern. I do that in between, so I'm able to slow down, but I don't totally stop. So, of course, if you have to stop, please stop, but I always try to find ways to keep working through it, even if I'm not doing like the full version, just so I'm still moving. If you can't like go down that low, or like you can't jump in general, you can just hit a regular squat. With any of our squats, you can always use the chair. So if you need to squat down to a chair, unfortunately, you're gonna do a lot of regular squats because once you sit and release, obviously like you can't jump from your chair, you can't pause when you're in the chair, you know, all those things. So if you're somebody who has to do a lot of these, I would suggest adding weight. And like I said, you would have to just do a regular sitting squat, but so you'll see what works. Or maybe even like if you can't get down like that, just go for more of like a regular jumping squat, just kind of squat down a little bit and jump up. Quick pulse squat. So again, if you're somebody who has to sit, you're just gonna sit because you can't pulse when you're sitting. So what it looks like is you're gonna squat down, do a little bounce, stand up, down, bounce, up, down, bounce, up, down, bounce, up. So when you squat, if you're not really familiar or you just have never had anybody tell you, you want to keep your back straight as you can. So a lot of times people squat down and their back is like way low, and it's not a bad thing, especially if you're not using any weight, but it's just not the proper form, and eventually it could cause strain in your back, especially if you were using weight. So try to keep your shoulders up. The same thing with our lunge. When you lunge back, you don't want to let your chest fall. You want to try to keep it up. So the same thing with your squats. Your body should stay relatively upright. So sometimes I end up doing like a praying hand. Sometimes I put my arms out in front of me, but you want to make sure that you're not folding as you're squatting. Cross climbers. So these are similar to mountain climbers, but your knees are driving diagonal across your body. So when you're in your high plank position, you're basically trying to like hit your opposite elbow, opposite knee type of thing. That's how your legs are going. They're going across your body, okay? So high plank position, again, across, back, across, back, across, back, across, back. If you can't hold yourself in high plank, you're gonna get up on a chair. Cross, down, cross, down, cross, down, cross, okay? And leg lifts. So for this one, I typically put part of my hands under my butt. So what you're doing is you're gonna have your back way up, have your feet out in front of you, not touching the ground. Lift up to like a 90 degree, make like an L, lower, don't touch the ground. Up, slow lower, don't touch the ground. Up, slow lower, don't touch the ground, okay? So with that one, and a lot of other ones, ab ones that we do, I will tell you, if you keep your head on the ground while you're doing it, which is normal, that's fine. If you lift your head and your shoulders off the ground, almost like you're doing a crunch, it's going to add more tension to your core when you're doing whatever else it is that you're doing. So I'm just gonna show you again. So if I'm doing leg lifts and my head is on the ground, that's fine. That's a normal leg lift. If I look up, so now my shoulders, the tops of my shoulders are off the ground, my head is off the ground, but my chin is not touching my chest. Now my upper abs have tension while my lower abs are working too. So you don't have to do that, but any of those like laying down abs, you can, and I find that I tend to, but you don't have to, but it's just an option. And like I said, it just adds a little bit more tension to your abs because now you're crunched a little bit up here and then your legs are working versus relaxed and then your legs are working, okay? So it's just an option, but that's your Wednesday.